Hello guys, my name is Davi and now I'll talk about the book Marco Polo in the Silk Road. Probably you know some things about Marco Polo. He came from a rich family of Americans in Venice and he journeyed to China and lived there for a long of time. His famous book is the description of the world, that became very famous in Europe. Uh, his, he told about Mongols, paper money, and the first to describe the Silk Road, a road between China and Europe that is so important for the traders. The life there is so dangerous, so the traders often journeyed in caravans, in groups. Nicolo and Mafel Polo is as Marcos Polo uncle and father. In 2053, the brothers went to Constantinople to trade. In this time, Marcos born in Venice. People think that Marco is the most important traveler, but his father and the uncle traveled before him. The brothers traded beautifully for 6 years and bought a lot of deals. But after fighting with people in the city they live, they wanted to go to Venice, but it was so dangerous. So they began to move east along the north road of the Silk Road. They traveled to Sarai, where is the summer house of the Mongol ruler and his people. The brothers give jails to the ruler, like presents, and then they travel to the Silk Road city of Bukhara. By luck, they meet an ambassador who was going to visit the great Mongol ruler, Khan. The ruler was very interested to know about the rest of the world. They traded in China, the brothers, for 2 years, but they wanted to go home. So the ruler get them a passport to get food and places to drink, eat, and sleep. The king asked them to take a message to the Pope and return to China with 100 priests and an oil of Jerusalem. But they discovered that the Pope was dead and went to Venice. The Silk Road was very important to the story of the Polo family and they journeyed to China. But the Silk Road was not one large road. It was a number of different roads, often with smaller roads at the side to places that were good for trade. The road moved things, but moved to religions and ideas. The travelers often rode on horses or camels, because they resist. After a long day, the travelers usually stop at Caravanserai, a place to eat and drink water and sleep. Soon, Nicolo and Mafel returned to Venice. They plan to return to China because they need the oil and the 100 price for the can. After they take 2 priced, but they became frightened by stories in the other part of the road that the brothers were fight with other peoples, and the priest turned back because they didn't like the stories. The Paulos moved down to the town of Musa and then go to Baghdad. There Marcus found expensive carpets, silk and clothes. In the travel, Marcus suddenly became very ill, so they stopped. They learn about life in the mountains, where that is so difficult. There were many stories about strange musics and voice. After traveling a lot, they arrived in the house of the ruler. They gave a paper of the Pope and the oil and the sorry and the oil and talk about problem with the price. Okay, the fight that they had. Marco was wonderful with the park and the Kent house. After they went to the winter house. The roads were different for the Venice. It's more clean. Okay, Marcos was very interested in the people who made the paper money in the Mongol Empire. That the king is the ruler. The king contracted Marco because he is clever and know about stories. Marco learned write and read Mongol and 4 other languages. Okay, and the Marco work was visited groups in the empire and wrote about these groups to they can know about the empire. We wrote down careful descriptions of everything on his road to please the ruler. The Marco's favorite seat was inside, that like Venice, okay? They saw everything in his road, like very tall buildings, people paint art rings, people pick pictures of animals in the skill, okay? But after Marco began to think, Marco thinks to come to Venice, okay, to come to home. Maffeo and Nicolo were older, but the 3 men did not have problems with the king, okay, because the king don't like they go to home. One day Nicolo asked about going home, but the king said no. And the king asked to Nicolo why want to go to Venice, okay? But one day the wife's king brother, no, the king's, okay, let me see, the wife's king brother, okay, did, and his brother will marry with a woman from the most important Mogul family, okay. So the king said that your brother will marry with Kokoshin, a princess of his court. Secretly, the Persian ambassadors met the Polos to leave Kokoshin. The king agreed and said they could visit your family and after return to Mongol Empire. When they arrived, discovered that king's brother was dead. So Kokoshin will married with Genzi, the son of the Genzi, the son of the Argun, that is the brother of the king. The Polos began to turn home, but discovered that king was dead, and the Mongol Empire stopped being so important. So they arrived in Venice, but anybody remember them? Later, the 3 men had a large meal with their family, and suddenly hundreds of Jews fell to the floor. Some were presents of the king. We don't know about more things of Marco Polo. Is this? But we know that soldiers caught Marco in a war involving Genoa and Venice. In the prison, they sent a message in the prison Marco sent a message for his father about book to take notes. One of the men in the prison with Marco Polo was a man called Rustichello. Marco told him about his journey to China and his notes in France. So some people think some Marco's descriptions are by Rustichello because Rustichello didn't put Marco words. Okay, so some people think some Marco's descriptions are by Rustichello. After he arrived in Venice and took the notes, became the book, the description of the world. Okay, that became very famous mailing after he did. Okay, guys, this is my speech, and I hope that you like.